Tucker, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Tell me about your business pre-launch profit.
Cool. So we are a digital marketing agency. We run the digital marketing side of things. We do, Facebook ads mainly, but we also do the funnel work, the sales funnel, and we just help people establish those strong foundations on the digital side of things, whether it's website, whether it's email marketing, whether it's Facebook advertising, whether it's whatever, get them all set up and then just crank out as many profitable ad campaigns as we can.
Sweet. And what would you say is a specific problem that you solve for the people you serve?
So I just think that businesses in general, not only businesses but business owners, where they're very behind on the times. When digital marketing that's been around, but just in 2017, there was more money that was being put and being spent on digital marketing than there was on TV. This was the first time ever in the history of the world to actually hit that plateau. And so I think, the digital marketing that is still 10 to 20 years ahead of the times. And it's really important to start getting the business owners involved and showing them, okay, this used to work really good, but there's better ways to do things.
For sure. So is it that they're struggling more so to figure out how to reach their customers as technology is evolving?
Yes, that, and they just need to learn. I mean, from what I've experienced, there's just that adaptation that needs to be taking place. And honestly, just the old ways don't work anymore. The new ways do work. I mean, they do work and they are working right now. And there's been so many case studies and that's just, that's how it is. So yeah, just D all the above.
Sweet. All right. Well, what made you decide that you were going to be the one to solve this problem?
So I mean, I was in college, okay, and I saw like everybody doing all these great things, and I've always had the entrepreneurial drive. I stopped going to college. I finally, took the dive to just start doing everything, and it just took over time, to actually start noticing the trends and where business was headed and where things were going. And I just went, this is what I want to do. I want to build businesses, but I want to do it the smart way, not the hard way.
So, what would you say is a smart way?
Digital marketing,
Okay.
everything, email marketing, Facebook ads, learning to adapt to the new ways that are making, just everybody successful. And it's not that expensive either. So anyway, that's what it
Sweet,
is.
sweet. So you just quit. It's like, to heck with this school. I'm going to go start making money right now.
Yep, yep, yep,
That's
that's it.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, let's switch gears a little bit and start exploring more about your experiences as an entrepreneur. So
Okay.
tell me about the biggest barrier and mindset that you experienced that limited your success in some way, and how did you overcome it?
Fear, fear, doubt, and unbelief by far are the no, three biggest saboteurs when it comes down to doing anything. And honestly, the best way that I can describe it is to be as busy as you can personally with busy people. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go fix my website today. Oh, I'm going to go do all these things today. That's just busy work. You have to be busy with busy people accomplishing certain tasks. And that right there will eliminate all of the fear. And once you can do that, add the sense of urgency. Like, I have to have this done by this Friday at 4 o'clock for this person. Boom, you're done. You're moving forward in the right direction.
Got it. So is it more like you just shut the voices down by taking action on a regular
Yeah,
basis?
yeah, you can't let anything go inside. You have to be doing more than you're thinking and speaking, honestly said.
How did you get to the point to figure that out? Because sometimes it takes a little while for us to do that, because those vicious voices, like, they can be pretty loud and they can like
I
really
know,
do a
I
lot of
know.
damage. So how did you figure out that taking action was a way to like shut them up?
So for me, that's for me personally, like that's my self-awareness. It all comes down to self-awareness. From what I'm saying right now, it might not be for Sonia. It might be completely different from what works for you. You can tell I get excited about this, huh? Because I speak so
Good.
fast. But just take time to learn about yourself, learn about what makes you happy, learn about what makes you work, and get stuff done and just focus on you.
Okay. All right. Well, what would you say are the habits that you have that help you keep everything together? So as you're managing clients with your agency, I imagine there's a lot of moving parts with one, running your agency, managing the different projects that the clients have, and then just kind of building your brand along the way. What would you
Right.
say, what are the habits that you had to help you keep it together and help you have a life in the process?
So I'm always thinking long term. I'm always envisioning, and I'm always thinking what if or if I don't. So if I don't do this by tonight, or if I don't have this done by, this next quarter, then there's a potential I lose a client. There's a potential I don't scale. There's a potential my family doesn't, thrive and in whatever it is. But I always keep that in the mindset of if I do not do this, then this will happen, and that helps me keep perspective on getting things done.
Right. Now, you mentioned that you dropped out of college to go ahead and start your business, and that fear was one of the biggest things. How did you get to the place to where you're like, actually, no, this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to make this work? Because starting something big and sort of leaving the safety net, I'm using quotes here,
Right.
of getting a degree might seem like a really tough thing to do for some people. So I'm wondering more about, how did you get to the place to where you felt comfortable enough to do that, and what were your first steps to make sure that you were going to be able to make it work once you kind of decided to step out?
So it took a lot of studying. It took a lot of noticing what was going on in the business world and then what was going on in the digital marketing world, and then comparing the two. And just I had to get that confidence in myself that this is where this is where the future is going, and I have absolute 110 percent confidence that this is where it's going to go. And so it's just been that vision that's just helped me. And then, with the fear, it was the fear of being rejected. It was the fear
Right.
of not having that soft, cushy cushion. It was the fear of failing. And so I had to remove myself from the people, from the situations, from the environments, and just place myself where I would continue to grow.
Got it. So did you surround yourself with like other entrepreneurs, or is it just, hey, I'm gonna go hang out over here by myself, super quiet, and just kind of get my work done, so I can start to figure this out? How did you go about that separation process?
Yeah, totally. So I was very alone when I first started because I didn't know how to do it. I knew of people, but they were like clear up here. And I'm like, there is no way that like Tiny Tucker is going to come around and say, hey, let's be buddies with like this millionaire, right? But after being alone for such a long time, you then start to figure out that, hey, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go far, you can go with someone else. So then I started figuring out, okay, I need to be with people. I need the right system. I need the right team, and I need the right mentor to help me get where I want to go. Since that mindset took place, everything has just, exploded like no other's business.
All right. And how did you find your mentor?
Actually, just I, it was so there's been so many. I probably have like 10, all in different areas, so that
Okay.
if I need help in one place, but basically it just came down to knowing and like almost vetting the right people and following people for such a long time, figuring out their lifestyles, their work habits, and then okay, this is what I want. I'm gonna hire him to help me.
Okay, very good. All right, now you are a very customer centric organization because you're an agency, so you're doing client work all the time.
Yep.
How do you stay in tune to what it is that your customers need most from you to be successful? Because I imagine that there are times where they think they need one thing, but what they
Yeah.
actually need is something different. And so you've got to marry that together along with those trends and all those other things that are going on from a digital standpoint. So how do you kind of keep it all together so that you're able to add value in a way that like none other agency is able to do for them?
Sure. So it's agency again, it's all about that customer, which means it's always about that relationship. You can try to marry every single person right off the bat. The person that you're dating, you can try to marry them right away. But again, relationships take time. You can try to say, hey, I think this is going to work good for you, but you have to establish that relationship. Number one. Number two, the trust. Number three, you have to be working for like an extended period of time to actually find out, what? You don't really need Facebook advertising. You need business help. Your Facebook advertising and your business is great, but now let's implement the email marketing.
Got it. Okay. And so did you get the confidence to be able to do that by just, you said, working with them over time and just being able to see this is what somebody needs? This is kind of like when this is not the right time to do a specific project?
Yeah, that's like the umbrella, but like I try to do the research beforehand and I'll spend a long period of time actually seeing what their business needs, everything from like the website to the Facebook page. I'll basically dissect and have everything here and then say, okay, this needs some more focus. This doesn't need focus because it doesn't work. Let's move on to this.
Got it. All right. So, what do you do to get everything done? Is there like or do you have people on a team that work with you?
Yeah, so so it's me mainly, and then I've got my wife. She helps out with like just a ton of different stuff. She knows like almost everything that I do, and it's cool because we get to go back and forth.
Right.
And then I'll just go hire VAs or whatever, and I'll have them do the design. I suck at design, so I'm always hiring out people who are the best who do the design part. But then more of the strategy, more of the sales funnels, and more of the analytical side when it comes down to the advertising process.
Okay. And so, what do you do when it comes to managing these contractors, whether they're their virtual assistants or other freelancers or anything like that? What do you do to get them to make sure that they're doing a product that is in keeping with the vision that you have for your business? Like, again, you said a lot of times when you're hiring out for things, they're not your strength, but you still have a vision for how you want to
Right.
project yourself. So how do you make sure that whenever you aren't doing the work or your wife isn't doing the work, that it is the way and in keeping with your vision and the culture that overall you want to see for your brand?
Yeah, so we use Asana. We use the management tool Asana. Personally, for me, I work best if I have a checklist and then I see how much I can crush out, how many checks I can do when it comes down to that list, and then I just keep going, keep going, keep going till it's all finished. But we use the project management tool Asana, and then if you can be inside of an industry or inside of a market long enough and you notice the pain points that people have, you're going to have some kind of vision, and if you are passionate about, even better. So that's kind of where I get my vision of, okay, I've seen this work, so I know that it works, and if anything ever comes out, I know that that's what I need to strive for.
Got it. What are your three keys to success?
Three keys. um, Having the right people around you, a ton of patience, and just again that check mark, that the things that you can do just on a regular basis, and making sure you're not doing just busy work, but you're actually doing work that is, that is scalable, that is proving results, that is saying I did X in X amount of time doing X, and these are the X results.
Got it. Now I want to dive in a little bit more to surrounding yourself with the right people. Like you talked a little bit more about the mentors that you've had. How do you know how do you know whenever you need to make sure that you're lacking in a certain area within your network or whenever your personal board of directors or whatever to help you do that? Like what are the key roles that you find that are essential for you when it comes to helping you run your business and keep your goals and kind of still more move forward to your future?
So for me personally, I know that I am not that great at design. I know that I struggle with the design. I am great at the whole analytical side of things. That's just who I am. That's what I'm great at. I know what needs to happen at a certain time and what needs to be taking place. But I know that I suck at design. So I'm going to go find a guy who is great at design, follow him for however long, make sure that he fits my needs. Then after that, it's like, okay, I'm going to hire you, or I'm going to buy your trainings or programs, or I'm going to, build that relationship and see how I can offer him or her value. And then we can go back and forth, and then actually help each other at a mutual standpoint.
What can we expect to see from you in the future?
Oh my gosh, I want to scale my agency. And not only that, I want to scale businesses. That is what I love. That is what I do. And I just want to grow my team. I want to, help my team do whatever they need to do to be successful, to even earn more or whatever, and then just help more businesses and just keep going and going and going and going and just, mountain top. Let's go.
Tucker, this has been super cool. Any parting words of wisdom for entrepreneurs who are working hard to make life better for the people they serve?
Work hard for results and stay patient with yourself and the people that you're working with. If you do those two exact things, you will go far.
Nice, nice. And where can people find you?
TuckerForwarda.com or prelaunchprofit.com. Tucker Forwarda, that's for the agency side of things. Or sorry, tuckerforworded.com, that's for the personal branding. Prelaunchprofit.com, that's for the agency.
Personal branding, does that mean like your personal brand that you're building for yourself?
Yes.
Got it, got it. And then before I let you go, I do have one other question just to dig inside your mind a little bit more. And that's to deliver a line from a movie that speaks to you and explain why you chose that one.
Okay, I chose for this one. Movie quote. Sorry, I didn't look over this one. Let's do. We'll just go over like my favorite. We'll just go over something that I like to say all the time. So, go big or go home.
That is from a movie, though, right? That is. Right?
Yeah, I don't know which one it is though.
It's okay. Totally fine. But you know what? I think a lot of times when it comes to business owners, a lot of times they're playing to not lose versus playing to win. So I really do like the idea of getting in the habit of thinking bigger and going bigger and swinging for the fences, because that's how you're really going to make an impact.
Exactly.
Sweet. All right, Tucker, this has been super cool. Thank you again for stopping by and sharing your experiences with us.
You're totally welcome. Thank you, Sonia.